Hi everyone, you all are welcome to my channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this style. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So I'm going to be using this Ankara print. So guys, I've drafted out my princess that bustier. I have several detailed video on how to perfectly draft out a princess that bustier. I'll drop the link for you guys to watch. So after drafting out the bustier, what I'll be doing next is cutting it out. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my fabric. So guys, after cutting out my fabric, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll be doing next is cutting out my lining piece for each of them. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my lining. So guys, for the back, I've chalked out the back. I'm going to drop the video for you guys to watch on how to achieve the back pattern as well. So after chalking out the measurement, what I'll be doing next is around the zip allowance area, I'm going to be coming in by 1 inch to eliminate zipper bulge. So guys, I came in by 1 inch and slanted all the way up. So what I'll be doing next is cutting out my fabric. After cutting out my fabric, I'm going to be notching the zip allowance area. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut out my lining piece, and then on the main fabric I added wadding and paper stay. As you can see, added paper stay at the back as well. So what I'll do is join the front piece together. So I'm going to be placing the side to the center, then stitch using 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing here, place it and then stitch using 1/2 inch all the way up. After doing that, for the back, I'm going to be taking in my dart. So I'll go ahead now to fold my fabric into two and then take my dart. I'll do the same thing for this side as well. Then also do the same thing for the lining piece. So I'll be joining the front lining together. So just place it this way and then join them using 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing at this point as well. So guys, for the back piece as well, I'll go ahead now to fold it together, stitch and then fold this other part as well. So guys, after joining, I've gone ahead to notch the area that I joined. So what I'm doing next is ironing. So I'm just taking my time to iron. So I'll open up the seam allowance and then iron properly. After ironing, I'm going to be turning it to the right side and then give it a very good press. So guys, after doing all of that, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So guys, when you look at the style, you will notice there is net at the top part. So what I'll do is just fold my net and then place my front fabric on the net. So my fabric is on fold and the net is on fold as well. So I'll go ahead now to cut out what I have here. So guys, after placing, I'm just going to cut it out. So after cutting out the net, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll do is turn my main fabric this way and then place the net on the main fabric. So I'll go ahead now to place my net, as you can see. So guys, after placing my net, what I'll be doing next is slanting. So the net has this slanting effect. So you choose where you want to slant, if it's the right side or the left side, all depend on your preference. So for me, I'm just going to be slanting. So guys, when you're slanting, you're cutting only the net. You're not cutting the main fabric. I just placed the net on the fabric so that you understand. So after slanting, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to take my pin them together to hold it in place. So as you can see, I'm just trying to pin my fabric together with the net. So guys, after pinning my fabric to the net, I'll go ahead now to cut out the excess. So as you can see, I'm trying to trim out the excess. So after doing that, I'll use a matching thread to stitch to hold my fabric and my net together. After doing that, this is it. And I've gone ahead to cut out my lining and added the lining. So I'm just going to place the lining on the main fabric, right side facing each other. Then stitch 1/2 inch around the neck area and the side. Then I'll turn it inside out. After doing all of that, for the back, I've gone ahead to take in my darts. Then I'll be placing my lining on the back. Then I'll be stitching the neckline, the zip allowance, and the side using half inch, and I'll turn it inside out. After doing all of that, this is what it looks like for both the front and the back. So guys, for the down part of the dress, I've cut out my skirt part. As you can see, it has a pencil effect. Then for the back, it has a little bit of a tail at the back area, just a little bit. She doesn't want slits, so she wants a tail. So from 2 inches after the zip allowance area, I just slanted that area a bit. So I went from that 2 inches and slanted to give it an A-line effect. So guys, you can choose not to add a tail at the back. You can choose to just leave it straight and slit it. So what I'll be doing next is cutting out my lining piece for each of them. So guys, for the front part, before adding my lining, I'm going to be adding my net to it. So for the net, my net is 25 inches long, as you can see. So I'll go ahead now to place the net on the fabric, and then I'm going to be pleating. So it depends on how full and wide you want your pleat to be. So guys, what I'll do next is to pleat. So as you can see from the top part, I'm just going to be folding the net this way. So take your time, pleat if you want the pleat bigger than this or smaller than this. It all depends on you. After pleating, I'm going to give it a very good press. Then I'm going to use my pin to hold it together. So guys, as you can see, I'm just trying to pin them together. After pinning, I'm going to be stitching, then cutting out the excess. So guys, after stitching, this is what it looks like. I'm going to be adding my lining piece to it. So I'll go ahead now to stitch using half inch all the way down, then turn it inside out. After doing all of that, this is what it looks like after giving it a good press. So what I'll be doing next is adding the front part to it. So I'll go ahead to place them right side facing each other, then stitch using half inch. After doing that, we are good to go with the front. So guys, for the back, I've added my lining to the back. I'm just going to place them, then stitch using half inch. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. So guys, after stitching, this is what it looks like for both the front and the back. So what I'll be doing next is adding the front and the back together. So I'll go ahead, place them together, then stitch at the shoulder area using half inch. Then for the sleeve, I'm just going to fold my fabric into four, then chalk out the length of the sleeve, use my free hand to cuff my sleeve, and then cut it out. So guys, just use any sleeve of your choice, it's fine. So guys, for the pleated part of the sleeve, you can choose to use a flare sleeve or just cut out the pieces just the way I did, and then you fold the down part. You do the same thing for this other part, and then you pleat. So you pleat to get your round wrist measurement. So I'll go ahead now to pleat and do the same thing for the other parts. So guys, after adding the pleated part to the net, this is what it looks like. What I'll do next is attach my sleeve to the dress. After attaching my sleeve to the dress, I'll go ahead now to shape in my dress. Then after doing that, this is what it looks like. What I'll do next is add my zip to the dress and show us the end result. So guys, this is what the dress looks like. As you can see, hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment. See you guys in my next class. For now, I'll say bye.